You can keep your pumpkin spice. Nothing says fall to me like caramel apple. Greetings and welcome back to another Rappletastic episode of the Vodkast. I'm your host as always, Geycen Oliveira. With us today are the Bentons caramel apples. They come from Aldi, and Aldi now has self-checkout. So they apparently don't think that we know how to scan properly. So all their packaging now is covered in barcoding. And I'll tell you something else, Aldi. Something that really pisses me off is the fact that I can't scan fast enough for your machines. I scan an item, I go to grab the next one, it says, please scan the next item. I'm like, oh my God, just give me 30 seconds, please, for the love of God. And for the love of God, if you guys are loving the channel and loving the content that I'm creating as much as I love creating the content that you guys are watching, would you consider at least subscribing and, I don't know, maybe throw a like, comment, perhaps share it with a friend. Who knows? But right now, let's get back to the review. Okay, caramel apple. Caramel apple to me means a lot. When I grew up, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, here it is, Rapples. You could buy them. They were round caramel discs. I hate that word, discs. You'd stick a popsicle stick through the top of the apple, and then you'd take the Rapple and you'd put it over it and wrap it around. You put it in the oven, and then you end up with a caramel apple. And they were really delicious. I loved them growing up. And so if these taste or remind me of anything like I tried when I was a little boy, it's going to make me really happy. So let's bust into these. I don't believe Aldi does, Bentons does the whole lift flap thing, which is unfortunate because if I'm not mistaken, 9 out of 10 times opening this, like there's a tear. Because you gotta slide it out, so you gotta fully open it, which means at one point or another, there's a lot of stress on that thin plastic packaging here. All right, let's take a look at one of these. Your typical golden Benton. I'm sure we're all familiar with them if we shop at Aldi. I do. Let's give it a little twist test, see how the caramel stays together. Okay, it's a single-colored caramel. It appears to be like a creamy, like whitish color. I guess that's supposed to represent, well, I guess it's going to be caramel and the cookies are flavored apple. Let's take a closer look at this. Doesn't say a goddamn thing. So let's just assume that the apple is the cookie and the caramel's on the inside. We're going to bust this in half. Well, here we go. They're definitely tasty. They don't remind me of the caramel apples I had when I was a kid. I'm not getting a lot of caramel from it altogether. There doesn't seem to be a lot of that flavor. There's definitely an apple, like a bright apple flavor in there. Almost like they used Granny Smith apples. I forgot my milk. Just give me a second. And back with us always is our trusty, rusty mug that Jess and Herbie sent us many, many years ago. We do all our reviews with it, with our dunking of cookies. If you'd like to check out her channel, it's Cryptid Bits with General Tidbits. Occasionally I make an appearance on there. It's all about the wild, wacky, mysterious, and unknown. So if you're into that sort of thing, you should totally check it out. Let's try this in milk and see if it changes the whole flavor profile on it. Here we go. Meow. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Here we go. Yeah. I can tell you one thing. That brought out the caramel a lot. I think the cookies might have the caramel in it, and the apple might be the actual cream. I can't quite get it. Perhaps it's all mixed into one. It is possible they did something like that. This could just be a golden cookie with caramel apple filling inside. That's what I'm thinking right now, because I actually went to reach for the one on the package. It was so realistic. I was like, why can't I get it? I'm going to try a little bit of just the cookie. I am going to try it in milk, though. I'll spare you the meow, 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 meows. This time. Here we go. Yeah, that's a golden cookie right there. So the cream is the apples and caramel. And it's very, it's almost like a pasty in a way. It doesn't feel like a normal cream of an Oreo cookie or something like that. I know these aren't Oreos, but we all know that that's what they're trying to be. So let me try a little bit of the cream here. What they should have called these is caramel apple pie, because adding the golden cookie on is kind of like adding a crust to this. The caramel and apple in the cream is strong with the force. It's really good. It's really tasty. It represents itself well. I do wish there was a little bit more caramel in there. Now, I did the apple pie, or was it the caramel apple? I can't remember. Oreo did one several years ago. They switch it out every few years in their fall season, and then in their Christmas season they do, they have their hot cocoa, or maybe the next year it's peppermint bark, but they haven't done a lot of new flavors, and I can't remember if it was a caramel apple or if it was just apple, but you'll know now. This is a delightful cookie, and if I had to score it, which I do, I'm going to give it a 9. It's quite delicious. It's really good as a total package. It's very, very good in milk. If you're going to pair it with milk, go for it, because it's just amazing. It brings out all the flavor that you kind of lose from the golden cookie. If you'd called it a pie, then it would have made sense to me, because then that crust that exists there, it would have accounted for the other flavors and made sense to me. The cream is spot on. Great job, Bentons. The cookie, I would have done something different, I think. I would have gone with, I don't know, a caramel cookie or an apple cookie or one of each, or done something different with the cream. But all things considered, a 9 is an amazing score, and this is a great cookie. So if you find yourself at Aldi, they might still have these on the shelf. This is definitely not new this week. This has been out a while. Obviously, they're moving into their winter flavors, which they did have a new one. But it was just red cream or peppermint. It was just like colored cream. So I don't need to review something I already know what it tastes like. Don't change the color and packaging on me and try to pass it off like it's some new product, because I'm not going to review it and you're not going to get my money. All right, Aldi? Let's come to that understanding. Anywho, guys, I hope you really loved this episode of the Vodkast. I really enjoyed making it. If you guys are loving the content that I'm creating as much as I love creating the content that you guys are watching, would you please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and hitting the little bell icon, because it'll let you know every time I put out a new video. I'm going to move this stuff. Don't forget to make somebody smile today and make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today. Tomorrow, let's make the world spin a little bit happier and just a little bit crazier. Together. Let's sing and dance in the sun and in the rain is one, my brothers and sisters. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love and never let your inner child die. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another, and take care of those around you who cannot take care of themselves, for they are the ones that need it the most. And if no one's told you today that they love you, the Vodcast loves you very much, just the way you are. All right, guys, do no harm. I'm Geycen Oliveira. This is the Vodcast, and I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road. Take care, all my friends.
Don't go to sleep with a catch it in your pocket.